Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon. Today is April Fool's, and to liven up the day, Wargaming released a couple of new game modes, one for World of Tanks and another for World of Warplanes. First up, this is World of Tanks. I am driving the tank affectionately called Karl. It's done in the 8-bit style of an old NES type of game. Looks almost Wolfenstein 3D-ish, if you're old enough to remember that game. Karl is a Tier 1 artillery. He gets the God view that all artillery get. Karl can only play games against other Karls. Do not think you can go into the normal game modes with him. Now, the brown blocks around us are destructible. You can see people shooting randomly for whatever reason. You can even shoot them. There's one guy who's plowing a way through to me with those blocks, so I'm kind of moving around there. Not quite sure what to expect. I have no idea. This is my first game in the tank. Karl is quite the overpowered Tier 1 tank with 1,500 hit points and 1,000 rounds of ammunition. That's pretty crazy. As far as how to drive it, it goes pretty well, forward and reverse, pretty much what you could expect. The downside is it has a very low gun traverse range. In artillery view, it's somewhat difficult to get a shot off, not that difficult. The gun seems pretty accurate, however, I'm completely confused for how much it's going to hit for. I'm completely confused on how much it splashes for. It looks pretty random to me. I've put my gun right up next to a guy and hit him for 100. And on the shots there, you could see that I hit somebody for 500. So no clue exactly what the damage is dealt from it. Aim time is pretty good. As you can see, the reticle drops really fast. And you don't have to aim in all the way. The gun is super accurate, so don't worry about that. I don't think there's a lot of splash. I think you have to hit directly. However, again, because of the accuracy, you're able to hit accurately. The tank goes TD mode really well. However, you can see a hit for 100, then 200. I have no idea how damage is calculated. And it's just a fun game mode. And I'm not going to put a whole lot of thought into it. But even in fun game modes, you're going to have people suiciding because they're jerks. I mean, that's just, wow. That's in poor taste. Overall, it's just a fun little game mode. I probably won't play more than a few games of it, but I hope they bring it back or keep it around for a little while so people can enjoy it. World of Warplanes got a slightly different treatment. This is the map Harbor, and you can see in the distance there is the Iron Giant and blimps making their way to the battlefield. I am flying the German UFO Sleipnir. Unlike the Karl, which can only play against other Karls, this Tier 5 quote-unquote plane is able to get into battles with normal World of Warplanes aircraft. So you're going to see this fighting alongside 109s and P-40s. It's actually very entertaining. Off in the distance, that is Godzilla. This map is the Pacific Ocean map. And we move on to the map Bay, where we can see another alien visitor making his way towards the battlefield. Dear Wargaming, I would pay you so much money if you would make that game. Please, dear God, let it happen. I have money burning holes in my pockets. Just make the game already. I want to shoot that guy so bad it hurts. Here's some gameplay of the Sleipnir. This is a Tier 5 German aircraft, and we are flying against normal aircraft. So I am diving on an FW-57. We're on the map National Park. And you can see the lasers require no lead time. Oh, that is just awesome. The lasers have a chance to set the enemy on fire. It feels roughly the same as incendiary ammo, so you're going to be setting the guys on fire quite a bit. The lasers have a maximum range of about 600 meters, and as you can tell, there's not a lot of armor or survivability. But the boost, look at that boost, go from 200 kmh to 400 kmh in just a second or two. It is ridiculous. And you're going to need that boost because the plane doesn't really keep its speed up that well. And it doesn't really turn that well, and it doesn't have any flaps, so you can't do a whole bunch. So you kind of need that overwhelming speed to get out of the enemy's sights. But once that boost is gone, you are in trouble. It's a well-known historical fact that BF-109s were incredibly susceptible to laser fire. Everybody knows this. The roll rate of the UFO is slow, and it doesn't climb very well either, though it does have a solid optimum altitude extending all the way to the ground up until I think it's about 13 or 1400 meters. So with this plane, don't do head-ons. There's no armor, there's no hit points, there's no survivability. You want to use that boost to evade if anyone's targeting you. Try to speed your way to teammates. And use your pew-pew lasers to start as many people on fire as you can. I'm going to ignore my advice of avoiding head-ons with the enemy, so we're going to switch to the cinematic view for the big finale. Overall, I really love these April Fool's things that they've introduced. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.